we will start talking about scatter diagram. We will discuss that, so I will share my screen. I think everybody will join within a couple of minutes. So here we are. بدنا نحكي شوي اليوم مع scatter diagram, and then we will revise stem and leaf diagram. Everybody can see my screen, the shared screen. 19.3, interpreting and drawing scatter diagram. Great, that's good. Thank you, Hanan. Tamam. Okay, so what we will talk about today is interpreting and drawing scatter diagram. We will discuss the meaning of scatter diagram, where do we use it, how can we use it, and what conclusion can we draw after interpreting a scatter diagram. Okay, so the main outcome is to use the scatter diagram to compare between data. Okay, scatter graph is a useful way to compare two sets of data. Okay, and we can use scatter graph to find out whether there is a correlation or there is no relationship between two sets of data. Okay, we have different kinds of scatter diagram. We have something we call positive correlation. A positive correlation as one value increases, the second value increases. Yani, for example, when we are talking about time, and let's say we're talking about the car, as more distance you travel, more fuel will be consumed. As less distance you travel, less fuel will be consumed. So there is a positive correlation between the two data or the two kind of information. As the distance you travel increases, the amount of fuel will also increase. This is what we call, as one increase, the second increase. This is what we call a positive correlation. Tamam? Okay, and usually in general it takes this shape. As you can see that in general, as one for example, as the age of the car increases, okay, the mileage of the car, for example, increases. Most of the data, they are in an increasing, let's say, pattern. Okay, let's say the second one, we are talking about negative correlation. As one increases, the second decreases. For example, we're talking about a car. As the age of the car increases, its value decreases. Of course, we're not talking about antique cars. We're talking about normal cars. As the age of the car increases, its value, for example, decreases. And you can see that in general, if I want to draw a best fit line, that would be a decreasing line. So when the age increases, the value decreases. This is what we call a negative correlation. Tamam? And sometimes we have no correlation. For example, let's say that the age of a person and his weight, they have no correlation. Some old people, they have gain weight, or they may gain weight, or some old people may lose weight. So actually there is no correlation between these two. Example, adults' height and their age. There is no correlation between the adult's height and their age. You may ask yourself, oh teacher, is that the same correlation when we are talking about childhood, or we're talking about kids in growth ages? No, we're talking about adults. Okay, so adults' height and their age, actually they have no correlation. So we have three correlations. First one is positive. As one increases, the second increases. We have negative correlation. As one increase, the second decrease. And we might have no correlation. In this case, there's nothing to compare between the two sets of data. Okay? For example, the diagram shows three scatter diagrams. Okay, as you can see, the first one, okay, we are talking in general without looking at the axis, what is written on the axis. If I just checked it, I will consider this is a positive correlation. The second graph, graph B, there will be no correlation because I can't see a general trend for the points or the data. They're different, they are scattered everywhere, okay? So in this case, مثلا ممكن يكون no correlation. The third one, the third graph or graph C, that would be a negative correlation, okay? So they just drew three graphs and they will ask you questions about them. Like, describe the type of correlation in part C. Who can help? What is the type of correlation in part C? Regardless what is written on the graph. Sarah Al-Asmar.
Negative correlation.
It's negative correlation because can you see the trend is in general decreasing. As the age here, for example, increased, the mass is decreasing. Okay, that's great, Sarah. So it's a negative correlation. Okay, for part B, one of the scatter graph shows the mass of 8 babies. We're talking about here childhood or infanthood. Okay, 8 babies plotted against their age. Okay, but put a ring around the scatter graph that is more suitable. So which one is more suitable? Which one fits? We're talking about massive babies and their age. What do you think will happen? Selena? Yes, teacher.
Graph A.
Graph A. Why do you think it's graph A?
Because the babies normally, as their age increases, their mass also increases.
That is right. That is right. Thank you, Sarah. In general, babies, and we're talking about childhood in general, as their age increases, their mass also increases, unless we have a malgrowth or maldigestion or any disease related to this stage. In general, as their age increases, their mass or their body mass increases. Thank you very much, Selena. Give a reason for that, because there is a positive correlation between babies' mass and their age. That's right. Excellent. Okay, here we are. These are some questions that used to be from our course book last year. Like Hassan carries out a survey on 15 students in his class. He asked them how many hours a week they spend on homework. Okay, and how many hours on per week, okay, they spend on watching TV. Okay, so he found out the hours they do homework and the hours they watch TV for 15 students. Okay, and then after that they wanted us to draw a scatter graph, okay, to show these data. So in general we will just show homework hours على horizontal axis, hours watching TV on the vertical axis, and we just place the data. Like, who can tell me, in general, what kind of correlation we have? What kind of correlation? And give me a good reason. The scatter graph is in front of you. Check the hours doing the homework and the hours they are watching TV. Check the correlation between them and tell me, what kind of correlation do we have? We might have positive, we might have negative, or we might have no correlation. Faris? Faris,
We have a negative correlation.
negative correlation. Can you give me an explanation?
As the hours of homework increases, the hours watching TV decreases.
That's right. Excellent, Faris. That's right. Okay. As the hours doing homework increased, the hours watching TV were decreasing. That's great. Okay. What type of correlation? This is what, and this is a very good explanation Faris gave us. This is the question that we've just answered. Negative correlation, because as one increases, the second decreases. That's great. Okay. Here's another question. We have the scatter graph shows the distance traveled and the time taken by a taxi driver for 12 journeys he made on one day. So hours and distances. Okay, like this is the scatter diagram. Let's answer these questions. What type of correlation of the graph shows? هم على فكرة هم نفسهم اللي بيرفعوا سارة وسيلينا وفارس. هلا رمضنا، يلا يا هلا.
Positive correlation.
Correlation. Can you give me an explanation, Hala?
Yes, because as the distance traveled increases, the time taken will also increase.
Will also increase. More distance needs more time. That's great. Thank you very much. Okay, here we are. Type. Let's go for more more questions. One of the journeys doesn't seem to fit in the graph. هيك طالع لحالها جاي. Okay. Which journey is this? What was the distance and what was the time taken? And why do you think it doesn't fit in the graph? هيك طالعة لحالها جاي. بعيد شوي عن الجراف. Which journey? How long was the distance? And for how many minutes it took? شايفين وحدة هون مثلا؟ هاي. شو رأيكم؟ سيلينا محمد. يلا يا سيلي.
It is the one which took about 15 minutes.
About يعني يمكن أنا شفتها أكتر يمكن 16 or 17 minutes and the distance was
6 or 7, I guess.
I think it was 7 kilometers. That's right. It's the journey that took about 6 or 7 kilometers and it took 16 minutes. That was a bit different than the rest of the scatter diagram. They want you to explain why do you think? Why do you think that might happen? ليش طلعت هاي الجورني هيك؟ Why do you think? إيش مثلا كان ممكن يكون صادف بالطريق؟ سيلينا. Traffic.
Maybe there was, yes, traffic.
Accident, traffic, anything happened. Okay, so see, maybe he just went through some traffic and that's it. Okay, so that's why most of the journeys they went by positive correlation, and except only one journey that didn't fit in this scatter diagram. Thank you, Selena. Okay, this is what I wanted to say about scatter diagram. Okay, موضوع scatter diagram is a very simple topic. I stop the share now. Is there any question about the scatter diagram? في حد عنده أي سؤال عن scatter diagram؟ لأنه there is something important I want to talk about, which is stem and leaf. في عندنا أي سؤال عن scatter diagram? Okay, can I share something else? Okay, تمام. So I will share another presentation now, which is this one. Also, we've been through during the quarantine. Everybody can see the shared screen now? Interpreting and drawing stem and leaf diagram. Can you see the screen? تمام, Selena, thank you. Okay, hello, interpreting and drawing stem and leaf diagram. This is a very important thing we need to talk about. Okay, أنا بعرف إنه stem and leaf the previous stages you didn't cover, so that's why I needed to go through it again. So we will interpret and we will draw stem and leaf diagram. تمام؟ هلا, what do we mean by stem and leaf diagram? How can we draw that? Stem and leaf diagram is a way of showing data in order of size. يعني وكأننا we are just presenting the data in an ordered way. بنرتبهم in order of size. ودائما we start from least to greatest. Okay, so this is something very important. Stem and leaf, it's a way of showing the data in an ordered size. تمام؟ طيب. When we draw the stem and leaf diagram, we need to make sure a few points. كتير أشياء لازم ننتبه لها. Okay, we write the numbers in order of size from smallest to greatest, as I told you. لازم نبلش من least لل greatest. Okay, you write a key to explain the numbers, and this is something very important. Without the key, you can't read a stem and leaf diagram. It might have any meaning. Okay, and then you keep all the numbers in lines vertically and horizontally. And what I mean by that, that we have to write them in lines. Yani if you just check here, what do we have? We have vertical lines. شوفوا كيف حاطينهم تحت بعض. Okay, and also we have horizontal lines. Okay, so you have to keep the numbers in lines, whether vertically or horizontally. Okay, so what do we have? We have this part that we call the stem. This is the part that we call the stem, and here we call them the leaves. We have the branches here. Okay, the key is very important, and now we will learn how to use the key. Okay, because the key explains the meaning of each number. Yani, for example, in this one, they are saying that if you have a number in the stem, and then the stem part, and then the leaf, how can we read it? It means 23. Which means the numbers on the stem, they are in the tens place. هدول النمبers, they are in the tens place. يعني إذا for example عندي 24 معناتها هي 2 هي 4. إذا عندي 30, this is the 3 and here is the 0. If I have the 41, this is the 4 and here is the 1. And the numbers in the stems, they are in the tens place. You might ask yourself, oh teacher, are they always in the tens place? No. They might be in the ones place. The stem might mean a decimal. They might be in the hundreds place. So we have to check, okay? Always read the key in order to understand how did we order these numbers, okay? By examples, you will understand that. هلا, here's another example. Check. هي كمان نفسهم 2 stem and there is 3, but this time we don't read it as 23. We will read it as 2.3. يبقى the stem here is not in the tens place. Stem here is ones place. And the stem part is as a decimal. And these leaves, they are in the 10th place. Okay? So key, this is your key to read the stem and leaf. تمام? Here we are. So this is the stem and leaf talking about heights to the nearest 1 centimeter. So that means, you know, these data, they are rounded to the nearest 1 decimal place. Okay, how many seedlings we measure? هلا, you might ask yourself, oh teacher, do we count these plus the stems or we just count the leaves? Teacher, we count the leaves. We count the leaves. يعني أنا, what do I have here? عندي 2.3, 2.5, 2.9. So do I need to count the 2? يعني عندي هيك 4 numbers? لا, أنا عندي 1, 2, 3. 3 numbers. And here is the same. So do we count the leaves plus the stems? لا, we count only the leaves. We count only leaves. So how many seedlings did we measure here? Who can help me count? Yeah. Who can help me count? Can you count them? How many are they? ها هم وانا يعني انا مستنيه أو كنت بدي اقول يا سيرينا يا فارس يا ساره يا هلا. ها طه يلا يا طه. How many are they?
22, teacher.
22 teacher, that is right. Okay, Taha. So there are 22 seedlings. Excellent. Okay, what is the highest, the tallest seedling, and what is the least? What is the tallest here? Selena.
Is it 63?
Is it 63? Check the key, teacher. Do we read 6 and the 3? Do we read it as 63?
It's 6.3.
That is right. Okay, so reading the numbers. أيمن يا Selena, check the key. تمام ماما? Okay, what do we have here? How many of the seedlings had the height less than 4.5? أصغر من 4.5. So you have to check أصغر من 4.5. How many are they? Yes, كأني شفت قبل شوي جواد. Yes, جواد.
8.
How many? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And yes, there are 8 seedlings. That's right. Thank you very much, ya Jawad. Okay, let's work out. هلا, what do we need to work out? We need to work out the mode, the median, and the mean. هلا, to find out the mode, إيش المode? Who can tell me best? What is the definition of the mode? Huh? 3 participants. مين هم? رمادنا. يلا يا رمادنا. قولي لي, what is the mode, teacher?
Is the most repeated number.
Okay, which one is the most repeated number?
4.5.
It's 4.5. That's right, because we have it's repeated 3 times. That's right. Okay, who can help me with the median? The one in the middle. The one in the middle. How can we find the one in the middle? كيف بدي أطلع the one in the middle? كيف نطلع الأوردر للميديان? First of all, can you remember that? هاي طلعت لكم hint. The frequency plus 1 divided by 2. Huh, Sarah? Sarah? Yes, teacher?
So it is the number 11.5.
Okay, so we just go by 22 plus 1, that would be 23, divided by 2, تطلع 11.5. إيش يعني يا سارة 11.5?
4.6. So you'll find the number that its position is 11.5.
Okay, or we can just go that, say that 11.5, it's between which 2 numbers?
4.5 and 4.7.
دقيقة يا سارة. 11.5, the position 11.5, okay, it's between the 11 and the 12, صح?
Yes.
It's between the 11 and the 12, and of course we know that the median should be 2 numbers لأنه إحنا عندنا even set of data. مظبوط?
Yes.
So let's check where is the 11 and the 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is the 11th and this is the 12th. So as you just said, yes, Sarah, it's between 4.5 and 4.7. So I will just add them and divide that by 2. And so it's
4.6.
Excellent, yes, Sarah. Great answer. Thank you very much, Sarah. Okay, the range of the data. هاي الرينج إيش أعمل? What is the range? The range. كيف نطلع الرينج؟ سلينا محمد. يلا يا سلينا.
The range is that we have to minus the greatest number from the smallest one. So it
From
will
the
be
smallest one, ولا the smallest from the greatest?
yes, the smallest from the greatest.
That's right. Okay, so which one is the greatest?
So 6.3 minus 2.3, which equals 4.
Okay, here we are. That's right. Excellent. And that's great so far. Any example? Any question? Okay, this is stem and leaf, just a normal stem and leaf. What do we have now is something we call back-to-back stem and leaf. When we are comparing two sets of data, يعني مثلا عندنا boys times, girls times. We have مثلا, for example, two teams that are competing, boys and girls, two teams, مثلا blue team with the red team, they scored time. Let's say averages between, let's say, two schools. If we are comparing two things, we can use something we call back-to-back stem and leaf. Okay, so back-to-back stem and leaf, it's a way of displaying the data, and we are showing two sets of data in order of size. Okay, back-to-back stem and leaf, as I said, we write one set of data to with the leaves to the right, and the other stem the stem is in the middle, and the other set will be on the left. Okay, so we have back-to-back stem and leaf. هذا back-to-back stem and leaf, we use it to compare two sets of data, but we should consider also few points. First of all, we write the numbers in order of size. هاي شغلة كتير مهمة إنه we should write the numbers in order of size. برضو من smallest to greatest. Okay, we write the key to explain these numbers. طلعوا على الكي برضو it's written. It shows what do we mean by the numbers on the right, and how can we read the numbers that are on the left. Okay, keep all the numbers in lines vertically and horizontally. كتير مهم to keep the numbers on lines vertically and horizontally. This is an example على stem and leaf diagram. This is back to back, okay? And we have students in stage 9, they are running, okay? They are in a race of 100 meters, okay? And we just recorded their times for the boys and for the girls, okay? This is the key. Well, key is very important. Let's check how can we read the key. Like for the boys times, okay, if you have one and then a stem and then and part of the stem, and you have the 15. The 15 here is your stem. So the stem is exactly in the middle. The leaves are on the right and on the left. How can we read this 1-15? It can be read as 15.1. 15.1. Okay, so here we have tens and ones place, and then here we have the 10th place. يعني الstem محله is replaced by a decimal point. Seconds, and for the girls, it's عندنا 15 and then dash and then 9, and that means 15.9 seconds. Clear? So the key helps you read the whole thing. For both sets of time, they want you to work out. Here we are, mode. بدنا نطلع المود للgirls والمود للboys. Mode يعني most frequent time. Most frequent time for the boys. Who wants to help? Most frequent times for the boys. بدور على حدا تاني غير حلا وسارة وسلينا. في حدا تاني وسلينا التاني كمان اللي يجاوب معنا دايما. وهي طه. مثلا امبارح تحمس منذر، امبارح تحمس مثلا بحب اسمع نبيه، رايا ولا مره سمعت صوتها، مثلا هدى حاج، محمد حجازي امبارح جاوب معانا. Can I ask randomly؟ بقدر انا اختار ولا اضلني بس على اللي بيرفعوا ايديهم؟ حلواني، هلا يلا حلا.
It's 17.4.
Okay, for the boys خلينا نشوف most frequent is 17.4, and for the girls
16.8.
and for the girls is 16.8. Excellent يا هلا. Thank you very much your teacher. Okay, يلا, and let's go for finding the median. Median, the one in the middle. وهي رح أعطيكم هاي الهند. اتذكروا frequency plus 1 divided by 2. This is for finding the position. وبعد ما نطلع البوزيشن بنروح بنجيبه. ها غيره. هاي نبيه تشجع. شفتوا كيف لازم نصحصحه لنبيه. يلا يا نبيه.
مثلا البويز لهم فريكونسي لحال والجيرلز لحال.
طبعا. Count them. How many boys we have? How many girls we have? خلينا نشتغل
We
على
have 10, 14. We have 15 boys.
15 boys.
So,
يبقى
15 plus 1
16
divided by 2 equals 8.
8. When number 8 بيجي 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8.
The 3.
يبقى ايش بيكون الميديان؟
16.3.
برافو. هاي الميديان للبويز 16.3. That's great. تعال نجرب للجيرلز. يلا count them.
أنا؟
زي ما
أكمل
تحب.
الناس؟
بتحب؟
خلاص أوكي.
يلا thank you
1
نبيل.
2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 16.
هدول 16 ها
16 plus 1 equals 17
Divided
divided by 2 8.5
8.5 يعني هو بين ال 8 وال 9
بين 8 و 9 yes
يلا تعال نجيبهم 1
1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 it's between the 17.5 and 17.6
Oh, that's great. Between the 17.5 and 17.6, we add them, divide them by 2, بيطلع 17.50
55
55, you can round it to 17.6. Okay? Great job, يا نبي. Thank you very much. Okay? يلا. Who can find the range? Ta -ta 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 -ta. Range. Let two sets of data. بدي boys و girls. وإذا حدا بيحب يجاوب التنين مع بعض, that would be great. مثلا في اسماء كتير منيح. يلا سارة الأسمر. يلا يا سرسورة.
For the girls, 19.9 minus 15.9, and that equals 4.
Okay, وللboys
18 minus 15.1, and this is 2.9.
and that is great, Sarah. You did a great job. Thank you very much. Okay, هلا they want you now to find the mean. Okay, finding the mean, everybody knows that we add all the numbers and then divide them by their numbers. يعني لو بدي أجي المين للboys, I have to add 15.1 plus 15.5 plus 15.5 plus 15.7. I have to add the 15 values that I have here. Okay, plus مين اللي فاتح الصوت؟ هاي مين فاتح الصوت؟ هذا طه. Please بعد إذنك يا طه, I will mute you. Okay. تمام. Okay, so we will add all the values and then divide them by their number. So I will add the 15 values that I have. As I just said, 15.1, 15.5, 15.5, 15.7, 16, 16.2, 16.2, 16.3, 16.8, and so on. And then I divide that on 15. Okay, finding the total, divide that by 15, هيطلع المين للboys 16.56. The same we will repeat for the girls. We will add 15.9, 16.7, 16.8, 16.8, 16.8, 17.3, 17.5, 17.5, and so on. We will add the 16 values and divide that by 16, and so the mean for the girls will be 17.72. Okay? They want you, this is the important thing, how can we interpret a stem and leaf diagram? They want you to compare and comment on the time taken by the boys and by the girls. And you might ask yourself, oh teacher, how can I compare between two sets of data when I don't have a drawing, I have just values? Okay teacher, when we want to compare between two sets of numbers, we just use the words of the average, in general, in average. So when I'm talking about averages, I have to consider one of the averages. Who can tell me what are the averages that we usually consider? مين الaverages اللي we consider when we are comparing two sets of data? What are the averages that usually we calculate? في حد متذكر ايش هم الaverages؟ في حد أي حدا متذكر؟ ها سيلينا متذكرة ايش هم الaverages teacher that we compare؟
The mean.
بس المين؟
The mean and the range, I guess.
Okay, لا سيلينا, الرينج ما له دخل. الرينج is not an average, darling. Okay, what we compare the three averages. We either compare mode, median, or the mean. Okay, so mean, mode, and mean, mode, and the median. هدول هم the three averages that we compare. Okay, and we already found them. يعني أنا هرجع بالسلايد لورا. Okay, we already found the mode, the median, and a minute ago we find the mean. Okay, so we consider the three averages اللي هم المode, median, and the mean. طيب teacher, what about the range? What does it indicate? The range is not an average. Again, the range is not an average. The range, it shows how varied are the sets of data, how varied are the times the girls made and the boys made. يعني الجirls مين أسرع وحدة مين أبطأ وحدة الboys مين أسرع حدا مين أبطأ واحد. What is the difference between the fastest and the slowest? Okay, it doesn't tell you an idea about what is in the middle, what is most of the data are going around, while the mean, the mode, and the median, it tells you a lot about in general, the sets of data, in average, the set of data that we have. So when we are comparing, we compare one of the three averages. تمام يا سيلينا? Three averages, mode, median, mean. But if they asked us anything about how varied are the data, the spread of the data, we can use the range. تمام? So when we are comparing on directly, شوفوا أول كلمة they started with on average. The boys ran faster than the girls. طب كيف عرف إنه they are faster than the girls؟ طلعوا على المين مثلا، طلعوا قدامكم. المين للبويز 16.5 بينما للجirls 17.7. المين, that means less time, and that means they are faster. In general, the boys are faster than the girls, and because as their mean and the median, they are lower than the girls. That's it. Clear? Any questions so far? في حدا عنده أي سؤال بالaverages? What do we compare? We compare averages من اسمنا. وعشان هيك لما when we write the statement of the conclusion, we say on average. ليش we say on average? Because we are comparing averages. We're not comparing specific numbers or each set number in the set of data. We are comparing averages. So we say, in general, in average, the mean of the boys, they are less. That means they are faster. Okay? Remember, this is a conclusion, talks about in general. It doesn't talk about each and every number specifically. Okay, read what Alicia says. Do you agree or not? She said that the girls are faster than the boys. I don't think so because they have their mode is higher. Can we depend only on the mode? بس على المود نعتمد. طب احنا في عندنا 3 averages. في عندنا median, في عندنا mean. والmean is more accurate than the mode. So no, we can't consider that because the mean of the girls and the median, they are higher than the boys. Okay, which means they are slower. Any questions so far? في عنا أي سؤال؟ طيب هلا these are past paper questions. I don't want to go through. We are done with stem and leaf. هو حقيقة this is the part that I wanted to revise with you. Okay, كتير مهم بالنسبة لي كان نحكي المعلومة تبعت averages with comparing. We're done. We're done with the material related to what we took during the quarantine and كل اللي أخذناه بالquarantine we went through. Thank you very much. Okay, have a nice day for today. Wish to see you next year إن شاء الله. ويا رب تكون هيك السنة الجاية سنة خير علينا وعليكم إن شاء الله. Wish you the best. Wish you the best, and this meeting is ended. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.